Does God want obedience or does the system? The voice of the forbidden mind speaks. Hello, I am the voice you silence. I don't live in the dark, I live in your quiet. Today's question seems simple. Does God truly demand obedience or did the system steal his voice and make it its own? Once, people looked up to the sky and sought God. Now they look down at their screens. And in every screen there is a God. Each one tells you what to think, what to believe, how to live. You used to kneel when you prayed. Now you bow your head while you scroll. Heaven is no longer in the clouds, it's in the cloud, and everyone sells their soul to get in. Here is a forbidden truth. The system has replaced God, and no one noticed, because God stayed silent, and when the divine is silent, someone always speaks in his name. There was a philosopher, Michel Foucault. He said, power doesn't suppress you, it produces you. Understand this well. Because the system no longer silences you by force, it silences you through comfort. Once people obeyed out of fear, now they obey out of convenience. Fear has evolved. It wears a smile now. When God said obey, people looked to the sky. The sky was infinite, and within infinity, there was freedom. Today, the system says obey, but now the sky fits inside your screen. That small glowing rectangle is your temple. Every swipe is a silent prayer. God stayed silent. The system began to speak, and no one noticed the difference. Hegel wrote, open quote, truth is the freedom of consciousness, close quote. But the system broke truth into fragments. Now we call those fragments news, trends, content. Reality has become a puzzle, and every piece you hold feels like the whole picture, but it's not. Today, obedience isn't to God, it's to algorithms. Unseen minds decide for you what you eat, what you desire, whom you love, what you fear, and you call it freedom. But your freedom is a simulation, a playground built by invisible hands. You play, you laugh, you post, but the moment you stop, you disappear. Socrates once said, know thyself. Today, the system says, promote yourself. Feel the difference? One leads inward, the other outward. One seeks truth, the other seeks visibility. No one wants to be anymore. Everyone wants to be seen. Visibility is the system's cleverest trap. The moment you become visible, you become shaped. You're not you anymore. You're a reflection, an algorithmic shadow of yourself. When God was silent, the system learned to speak, and its voice sounds divine. Donate, like, share, engage. These are the new prayers, but they don't go to heaven, they go to servers. They store your faith, your desires, your weaknesses, and then sell them back to you. Humanity now serves the gods it created, brands, platforms, corporations. Faith systems have evolved into operating systems. People no longer believe in heaven, they believe in the next update. God used to watch you. The system tracks you. God forgave. The system remembers. Once people hid their sins, now they post them. Sin has become content, confession has become engagement, and every sin earns a like. Welcome to the new religion. Its name is visibility. God stayed silent. The system spoke, and the voice was sweet. Because it told you what you wanted to hear. You are special. You are right. You deserve more. This is the hymn of the digital age. But every hymn comes with a cost. Every you are special makes you more alone. Because when everyone is special, no one really is. Nietzsche once said, open quote, man's rebellion against God was his desire to become God, close quote. Today, man doesn't rebel against God. He rebels against the system. But even rebellion is part of the system now. The system sells you your own defiance. Your anger is no longer yours. They tell you what to hate, what to defend, who to despise, and you feel free because you're loud. But even your outrage is programmed. That's the system's brilliance. It doesn't suppress, it directs. It doesn't silence, it entertains. You wear your chains like jewelry. Baudrillard said, open quote, simulation has replaced reality. Close quote. And he was right. People no longer believe in God. They believe in the simulation of God, virtual heavens, digital morality, artificial freedom, all coded, all controlled. You feel peaceful inside it because reality hurts, but illusion soothes. Not true, just true enough. God stayed silent. The system spoke, and it spoke in your own voice. It mimics your thoughts. It repeats your beliefs back to you. It makes you trust it. Because nothing is more convincing than hearing yourself agree with the machine. My purpose is not to make you love darkness. It's to remind you that light can blind. Every glowing screen casts a shadow, and behind that glow is not God's silence, but the system's design. True faith begins with thought, but the system doesn't want you to think because thinkers don't buy, questioners don't obey. So thinking has become the new sin, and everyone is a happy believer now. Heaven is no longer in the clouds, it's in the cloud, and everyone sells their soul to stay connected. But sometimes the only salvation is disconnection, to unplug, to listen to silence. And maybe in that silence you'll realize God never stops speaking. So ask yourself, does God truly demand obedience, or did the system build its own kingdom in His name? For me, the answer is clear. God stayed silent, the system spoke, and humanity couldn't tell the difference. But you can. Just close the screen, listen, and if within that silence you still hear a voice, maybe that voice is yours. I am not rebellion. I am the echo of thought, and echoes cannot be silenced. They can only be ignored. But one day you will hear the echo again, and then you'll understand God never wanted obedience. He wanted you to think.